like that she's thinking kind of like.
So like this be a station
So we're trying out a little bit of a different setup tonight in order that we can hear each other a little better. And so I'm going to scoot in. Shabbat Shalom. My hope for tonight is that we'll be able to create a little bit of spaciousness in the service, enough so that we can do maybe even more listening than speaking. So whether that's spaciousness in the singing and in the tefillot, or spaciousness in between the tefillot, it's a transition moment, I think, for us to go from a week of communicating, whether that's online communication, emails, texts, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, or verbal, to a mode of the midah, the measure, the value of shmirat hadibur, of just being mindful of our speech, being mindful of what words we're saying, what words we're not saying, and our ability to take in everything that's happening around us in all of its subtleties. So I think one of the ways we can do that best is by simplifying our prayer a little bit and just working sometimes with just the melody. So there's a melody we've been singing a little bit for Psalm 95 on page 11. And we're just going to start with this nigun, this wordless melody. And eventually the words may or may not come in. We may just stay with the melody itself. But I want to invite you, as we're singing together, to see if you can shift from a consciousness about the sound of your own voice to being able to hear someone else here in the room. So if you're coming in, yeah, come sit up close. And if you want to lay down for that, that's no, I shouldn't have said that. I'm like, Sister, just be where we can see you and hear you. We want to hear you. To take the first step. Reading on the bottom of page 17. To take the first step to sing a new song is to close one's eyes and dive into unknown waters. For a moment, knowing nothing, risking all, but then to discover the waters are friendly, the ground is firm, and the song rises again. Out of my mouth come words lifting the wind. And I hear for the first, the song that has been in my heart, silent, unknown, the longing of our hearts. Just on the page before, I want to sing Orzarua, 4 lines from the bottom of page 16. This is a call and response melody we've done before. And the words are Orzarua let Sadiq, Uli Yishrei lev simcha. So I want to focus on that word Sadiq. That is often translated as a righteous person, but I don't know how many of us would really consider ourselves worthy of being called a Sadiq or a Tzadeket. I think so often we focus a whole lot more on the ways we haven't lived up to being really righteous than on the ways that we're embodying that. But I think one of the attributes of being a tzaddik is to recognize when inside you there is that burning sense almost of knowing what is right in the world. Maybe for you, that's a sense of justice, of seeing injustice happen and knowing this is not the way that things are supposed to be. Or maybe for you, that is being a peacemaker. And when you see conflict or you experience conflict, your immediate response is, how do I create harmony here? How do I mend what's broken? How do I bring back together the people that have grown apart from one another? But it's a sense of, I think, moral clarity, which is rare, but when you do experience it, I've found it's very powerful. So before we sing, I want to, what?
Can I say something about that?
Please,
So I heard two things from you there.
come close so we can hear you.
No, that's okay.
No,
Okay.
they can't hear you up here though.
It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, just,
One was moral clarity or what is right,
yeah,
and the other is being a peacemaker and bringing people together in harmony, so I look at those two things quite differently.
yeah,
Because moral clarity, if you think of some people think that they're always right and trying to put it on somebody else, I have trouble with that.
yeah,
But harmony, on the other hand,
yeah. Yeah, my experience is that the second one, the harmony, is easier for me to access. I rarely, if ever, experience moral clarity.
well, I'm just thinking, there are people out there in the Middle East that think that they have moral clarity and want to put it on other people, and it causes actually strife and not harmony.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a lot of different ways that this manifests in my experience, but thank you. I think that's right. So just an invitation to notice, where do you experience this? Where have you experienced this sense? Either of a sense of clarity or a sense of seeking harmony. Maybe just this week. Or Zarua, La Tzaddik, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Or Zarua, La Tzaddik, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Or Zarua, La Tzaddik, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. to Kabbalat. Page 22 at the top. Anna Bekoa, Bekoa, Kedua, Yeminha, Yeminha, Tatir Serura, Abelrina Tanpa, Sabenu, Tarenu, Nora, Anna Bekoa, Bekoa, Kedua, Yeminha, Yeminha, Tatir Serura, Abelrina Tanpa, Sabenu, Tarenu, Nora, Nabekoa, Idula Yeminha, Tajir Serura, Tajir Serura, Abelrina, Rina Tanaha, Sabenu, Tarenu, Nora. Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Shamor Zachor, V'Diborecha, Ishmianu El Meyuchad, Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad, L'Shem Tiferet V'Litilah, Adodi, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lipat Shabbat, Levu Benelcha, Ihim Nekor, Averacha, Mirosh Mikeret. Shabbatila, Adoli, Likakala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Vitashmela, Irnalucha, Umisei, Mitov Kapecha, Ravat Shevet, Biyamek Habecha, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adoni, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Inari, Me'avargumi, Lishibite, Tivartekami, Al-Yamenishan, Beitalami, Korbael, Nashinyala, Adodi, Likakala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Itoreri, Imaore, Kumi Uri, Shirna Beri, Iboranai, Alai Nigla, Adodi, Likakala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Likakala, Shabbat, Kabbalat. Holy Adoni, Holy Rakala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lo Tevoshi, Lo Tikani, Matishtotlani, Umatani, Ba'yakasu, Ani, Eani, Nita, Iratila, Adodi, Holy Kakala, Shabbat. with the shalom, atere bala, amesimcha, oretzoda, tohemure, ansegula, borikala, borikala. Ole Adonai, Oli Vatala, Mene Shabbat, it's such a shift in energy to go from Purim on Wednesday night, where at the end of the night it was like Purim detritus scattered all over the room and groggers and everything, back to like Shabbat energy. And so I'm feeling that shift a little bit. And I've been thinking a little bit this week about, I don't know how to say this exactly, but I don't know, some of the ideas encapsulated in Purim. And one of them in particular that has been sort of a focus of my consciousness this week is that Purim seems to be at its base the ultimate diaspora holiday. The land of Israel is not a focus. It's all taking place in the land in Shushan in Persia. The characters in this story seem to be making their peace with the fact that, as one teacher this week put it, like, no one's coming to save us. There's no Messiah. There's nobody that's going to come intervene in our lives. We have to make our home here because that's our only option. And it was really interesting for me to see that part of the story. And then on Thursday, when after all the festivities had died down, to turn my computer on, go on Facebook, and see, you know, this still like is in awe for me, even 2 years later, even though this has become the norm, like Megillah reading streamed live from Jerusalem right there in my office. And I get these little notifications that my favorite little Jerusalem shul, Kabbalat Zion, whenever they go live, I get the notification. And of course, for Shushan Purim in Jerusalem, it's a day later. So they were just beginning their holiday as ours was starting to wind down. And I watched as they said, and I know I think there's a COVID surge going on in Israel right now. And so people were back to being masked, and it was clear that things were not like exactly as they should be. But even so, even on Purim, the rabbis shouting like the Shana Haba'ah Yerushalayim Habnuyav, the Kilat Zion, like next year, can we be just right back here with community together? And so it seemed like I've been sort of planning this for a while, but Purim seemed like exactly the right day that I booked my first flight back to Israel in now almost 7 years. The last time I was there was in winter 2015. And like the flight's booked and the Airbnb is booked, and I'm going to spend 2 weeks in Jerusalem this summer, which is making me really, really happy. And so that, I think that tension always between a diaspora consciousness of needing to not just like make the best of it where we are, but actually to let our lives here in Chutz La'aretz, outside the land of Israel, thrive and be beautiful, and also maintain that sense of consciousness of like, I think I heard you use this, and I love this, Ellen, like the umbilical cord connection to Israel and to Jerusalem, which for me like was not something that I was born with, ironically, but something that I uncovered over time. Holding that tension, holding that duality I'm very conscious of it around Purim. And that's it. That's it. That's it. So I wanted to share that before we sing these more shir. We're on page 27. Just because for me, like the ability to, as much as it costs, like to buy a plane ticket and, to rent an Airbnb in Jerusalem is like not a small thing and fills me with a tremendous sense of gratitude. So we'll sing on page 27. Tov lehodot letter. Good, just to be able to lean into that gratitude. Mizmor shir, shir liyom haShabbat. 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 Tov lehodot l'Adonai, tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Le'hagi b'boker, boker chasecha, ve'emunata b'leilot. U'le'hagi b'boker, boker chasecha, ve'emunata b'leilot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Bottom of page 28. Lord, Let's rise for Barfu, page 39. Feel free if you'd like, if you want to move and create a little bit more space for yourself. Feel free to find a spot. Beloved are you, the eternal one, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night. The alternation of light and darkness sings your creating word. In the rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your divinity. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of night. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Arahi. I want to share this poem in the space of Ahavat Olam by Billy Collins. It's called Aimless Love. This morning, as I walked along the lake shore, I fell in love with a wren, and later in the day with the mouse the cat had dropped under the dining room table. In the shadows of an autumn evening, I fell for a seamstress still at her machine in the tailor's window, and later for a bowl of broth, steam rising like smoke from a naval battle. This is the best kind of love, I thought, without recompense, without gifts or unkind words, without suspicion or silence on the telephone. The love of the chestnut, the jazz cap, and one hand on the wheel. No lust, no slam of the door. The love of the miniature orange tree, the clean white shirt, the hot evening shower, the highway that cuts across Florida. No waiting, no huffiness, no rancor, just a twinge every now and then for the wren who had built her nest on a low branch overhanging the water, and for the dead mouse, still dressed in its light brown suit. But my heart is always propped up in a field on its tripod, ready for the next arrow. After I carried the mouse by the tail to a pile of leaves in the woods, I found myself standing at the bathroom sink, gazing down affectionately at the soap, so patient and soluble, so at home in its pale green soap dish. I could feel myself falling again as I felt its turning in my wet hands and caught the scent of lavender and stone. So as we chant Shema together, maybe bringing to mind one small thing that you fell in love with this week all over again. Thing, an animal, a person. Ata Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Adonai Be'achata et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol levutecha vehayu haparim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha v'vitecha u'belechtecha b'derech u'shoftecha u'kunecha v'shartam le'od o'atecha v'hayu totavot v'yinecha u'kratam amizot v'techa u'Yisrael. So feel free to take yourself through the rest of the words of the Shema at your own pace on page 42. Just sit and be quiet for just a moment. I turn over now to page 45, Dahashki Baby. just read in English. And as we're reading, just have in mind all of those who are struggling to sleep peacefully tonight, whether that's here in our own city or whether that is thousands and thousands of miles away. And send that intention for peace to anybody that needs it. Allow us, Adonai our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, so sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. Over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. We imagine as we're saying that us stretches wider and wider and wider. So it's not just us here in the room, not just us on Zoom, but as big of an us as we can imagine. Shalom Aleinu, Olam Yisrael, Yerushalayim. Rise, body or spirit, page 46. Yishameru Yisrael, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tu shvehata v'nemata zamira yoma viveru. Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon Le'ol HaShalom. Ki atahu melech Adon Le'ol HaShalom. Shalom Ra'ah al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Ra'ah al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Shalem on page 54. before. Vikara Shane Rabba, Be'amat Yibachute, Be'lich Machute, the Hayachon Gemechon, Hayda Hobe Israel, Agalav Ismankari Biberu, Yeishmera Nebora, Be'alamra Be'amaya, Yibara, Harach Ishtabach Bita Arbitranu. Vidna se, vita dar, vita le, vita la, shmir kurisha. Meila mikol birchata, shirata, tushbechata b'nechamata, da'iran bi'amad yimeru. Tikadav slamun b'chon, kol Yisrael, potam avon nishmaya yimeru. Yehesh namarabba min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu ve'cho Yisrael yimeru. Oseh shalom b'moma. Yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'cho Yisrael, ve'cho yoshkei tevel yimeru. Six. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, la'tekenu la'le'oser b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'arazot, ve'lo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakeinu kahem, ve'kora aleinu kechol hamonam. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושל קרוב בשמיים עמהו, ושכינתו זו בכוכבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אלוהינו, אלוהינו. בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשמותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. ונאמר feel like those words are always the perfect transition into Mourner's Kaddish because they mean, there's no other, but there's no end. That memory is continuous without end. So this week as we're saying Kaddish, we're remembering Stuart Handelsman, Robert Eisenberg, Elisa Segal, and Rhoda Peach Waxman during Shloshim, as well as the yard sites of Norman Howard, Solomaya Lipka, Jacob Moss, Lawrence Lautner, Max Kahn, and Henry Stambler. So I invite everybody to sing Kaddish to join me on page 58. Gadal, Kadash, Shemay Rabba, Yalma, Divra, Hirute, Vianli, Mahute, the Hayehon, Yomeho, Uchaye, Taho, Beit Israel, Bagala, Yisman, Kari, Yimru, Amen. Yehe, Shmei, Rabba, Devorach, Le'elam, U'mei, Amen. Yiparach, V'ishtabach, V'pa'ar, V'tromah, V'naseh. V'tadar, v'taleh, v'talav, shmei d'kusha, v'rechu. Le'ela, mikol birchata, v'shirata. Tushbechata, v'nechamata. Damiran, v'yama, v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba, mishamaya. V'chaim, aleinu, v'al Israel, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'rumav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevav. Amen. All their memories be a blessing. Shabbat shalom. Thanks for leaving your usual seats for maybe only hopefully slight discomfort. And but it's nice, I don't know, it's nice to like kind of play around with this every once in a while. And I especially like not having to be mic'd so that we can really hear everybody's voices in the mix. So it just like a little bit of an experiment, which I appreciate. Yeah, you can just give announcements right from your seat because the owl will pick you up.
Thanks.
Nothing's happening anymore.
We've had such a, I know, it's just like a.
Yeah.
So just a couple of things, I guess, that are coming up. Rabbi Lauren has the last of her series of the Guide for the Perplexed, which is going to be Wednesday night. And so that'll be both in person and on Zoom. And then a couple of fun Shabbats are going to be coming up soon. We're going to have our baseball Shabbat on April 1st, beginning of opening day. There'll be a notice going out soon for that, for sign up for dinner. We're going to have a baseball park type dinner with hot dogs and hamburgers and other kinds of things. That'll be our youth and family Shabbat on that evening. So we look forward to having everybody come for that. And you should receive in your mail in the next couple of days the invitation to the Hayesh celebration, and a digital version went out today as well. So we hope that you all join us for that. I think we can make it.
Those envelopes were stuffed with so much love. Many hands made those envelopes go out this week. So, so let's stand and make Kiddush together. Sabri, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu, b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'praton hinchi lanu, zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'ei kodesh. Zecher l'Yisrael Yisrael, ki banu b'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'anim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'ahava Okay, maybe we can like make one big circle or something. So everybody's in the circle. We can just bless each other this way. Yeah, you can, he's good. He's good. Yeah. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. Yisach Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
As soon as I said that, out of my mouth, I was like, no, take it back, Lauren, take it back. About Kira. I was like, oh, good. When I was like, you can sleep in the back, it's fine. And I was like, oh, no, that's permission that was not needed. She's with no eye. Yeah, there you go. Shabbat shalom, everybody on Zoom.
About like lunch.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Right, that's the, right.
Range part where you were saying?
My dog disappeared.
I was at my office.
That's the way.
It's not, it's like an open ceiling.
Yeah.
So that there's no like second layer.
Listen, she's with Kira, so.
Right.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
Bye, everybody.